Here they are. Here's the less premium model, the Coolpad Daguan 3, and then the Daguan 3 Plus, which is the more high-end model. Although neither of these are supposed to be very high-end smartphones, but let's open it up because that's not what's special about them. The special thing about these is that they have a 3D display. Let's start by opening up the regular model, the Coolpad Daguan 3. Okay, let's take this thing right out of the box. Here it is. I guess we got a charger block that comes with it. And then the phone itself right here, the Coolpad Daguan 3. This is actually my first time ever opening up a 3D Android smartphone. And this is really interesting because it comes with a case. I've never seen this before. Like literally this smartphone is packaged with a smartphone case already on it. I've never seen any smartphone do this before. Very interesting. And just like we saw in the photos in the video that I introduced this in, this texture on the back of the smartphone is actually pretty cool. Like I think this looks really nice. But the important thing is how we turn this thing on and check out the 3D effect. So I'm just gonna hold this button and hopefully it'll power on. Here's the power button, I think. Should power on, there we go. Coolpad, Android. So I haven't seen anything yet, but I like it so far. And this Coolpad Kulos opening thing is not in 3D. Just gonna be probably an onboarding type of thing. Let's go with English. Now we're finally at the home screen. So it looks like all the apps that it had me prompted to download are downloading very quickly. And these are all apps that look like they're meant to use in China because this is a Chinese smartphone. And normally it wouldn't be that easy to purchase it from regions outside of China. I'm gonna have to figure out how to view stuff in 3D on this smartphone because it didn't give me any tutorial or onboarding so far. This is the base model, which is kind of cool. You know, I think it seems pretty decent actually. I don't feel like this feels super cheap as I'm using it, at least not yet. This looks promising. We have something called the 3D media player, a 3D player, 播放器, and you can see the image look kind of like a video play button. So if we open this up, it's gonna ask for permission to use the camera. I'm gonna give it permission to do that. So now if we proceed to open this player, it's gonna give us some demo videos that we can look at. Let's see how these turn out in 3D. Like this is the same video that's showcased on this tablet that's sitting here in the background, the Master Plus 2024 from Proma, and then it's also on my iPhone. It's on 3D Fan, the app that you use to watch things with the iPhone 3D protection screen to watch things in 3D on your iPhone. Let's play this video. All right, so to be honest, it's in 3D, but there's a lot of crosstalk going on that I don't really see on the other devices. So very simply, it seems like you can easily enable eye tracking, 3D mode on and off, and then there's this SBS option here. I'm not sure exactly what that does. If we turn off just gonna turn down the volume. So if we look at these options here, you can see in the settings that there's a 3D toggle on and off, eye tracking, I think on and off, and then SBS, which if I push the SBS button, it'll turn it into this left and right side-by-side images. So there's some very basic things you can do quickly, and then brightness adjustment there. And then this one in the middle, I think is toggle full screen. If we rotate the screen. It doesn't seem to rotate. So yeah, first impression is that while the image is, I would say it's clear, but there's a lot of crosstalk and ghosting, not just in the pop out. The pop out looks pretty awful. The outline of these people actually looks pretty bad too. So this is surprising. Let's take a look at a different video and see if it looks any better. Now this one doesn't have as much crosstalk really, but problem here is that it just kind of feels a little bit blurry, or like the 3D mode feels like it's sort of low resolution. I don't know how to explain it. It feels kind of fuzzy. The image is sort of a fuzzy image in 3D, and then the depth is good, but yeah, the main thing is just the clarity here. While this screen seems to be a nice big screen with a good color, and it's very nice looking in 2D, when viewed in 3D with these videos, it just sort of feels like cheap 3D might be the best way to put it. Maybe it depends on the video. This is actually pretty cool. This one looks nice in 3D, and I think the effect is good enough to enjoy. Like, this screen size is nice and big, and it's not the clearest image I've ever seen, but it works. It just feels a little bit unstable with the pop out. I think it's sort of close to the iPhone screen protector quality in 3D. So these are just movie clips in 3D, and I think, yeah, this is pretty cool, like, to me, to be able to enjoy 3D on a mobile device like this, just like I have on my iPhone. I think it's cool. This is interesting too. They actually have an app that's called Migu Video, and it's a 3D app. And if we try to view some of this sports content, like, it has licensed content in here that's not going to be viewable in this region. If we just click on like a sports video, for example, it's playing in 3D, and this is kind of cool. Like, this scoreboard thing is popping out, and then the athletes in the background and everything are in 3D. The problem is this is loading from China, so it's gonna not run very smoothly from where I am, I think. But yeah, this is cool to watch in 3D. Like, I've never really watched soccer or sports in 3D like this, and I think the quality here looks good enough. I think there's a ton of stuff that we need to try out with these phones to really say how they're working and all the different things they can do. But for now, let's open up the other one, the more premium model, the 3 Plus. Okay. I think I remember that the design for this one looks kind of interesting too, so hopefully the phone itself actually feels and looks nice. They were saying the texture is supposed to be a unique kind of texture for this phone. It supports 5G, it says on the box. And yeah, outside of that, the screen size should be larger, I think, and everything else might look and feel the same as the one that we just looked at. This one, similarly, is inside of a case, right? So when we take it out of here, it's already in this smartphone protection case. And you can see that this one's got a completely different looking texture on the back. It's also sort of a unique premium, sort of unique premium feel to it. And I like this. And then the camera setup is totally different with this one. So looking at this particular model, it just doesn't seem like, at a glance, that this is something that would support 3D video capture and photo capture. If we take it out of the case, let's take it out of the case and look at it more closely. Here we go. So this is how it looks outside of the smartphone case. And I'm a fan of the designs of these phones, but the actual functionality and the 3D effect is the most important thing. So let's turn this one on and see if it's any different. All right, so this is the home menu of the second model. And if we compare the screen size, actually, if you look at them, they are the same size. So I was wrong. The screen size is not bigger for the more supposedly premium model. It's brighter right now for some reason. Let me increase the brightness. If I have them both at max brightness, you can see just kind of how they compare, even though I still have the case on the first one we opened. Yeah, same size screen. The only differences might very well be the camera quality, the design on the back of the phone, and then the actual specs of the phone, like the chip that they're using might be more powerful with this Plus version. But what I would like to see is whether or not the 3D effect that we just saw on the other phone looks the same with this one. The same exact, you know, display quality and 3D quality. I'm not noticing any difference right now. So I think that's the most important thing, you know. Yeah, it's working in 3D and it looks just like the other phone. Here's one with extreme pop out. Let's just try this one to finish it off and then I'll end the video. Alright, so it's popping way out of the screen, but there's a tiny bit of crosstalk visible. Actually, this looks nice. When head tracking is locked onto you and it's working well, I think the 3D effect is good and it looks clear. Looks like this ring is floating right here outside of the screen, and just the resolution might be a little bit lacking, but yeah, I think it's pretty nice.